Ladies and gentlemen, most people believe that purpose is something you find, like a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. They think that one day it will just reveal itself in a flash of insight. But purpose doesn't work that way. It's not something you stumble upon, it's something you build, something you nurture. And yet most people spend their entire lives looking for it in all the wrong places. We grow up being asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And over time, that question shapes the way we think. We start defining ourselves by what we do instead of why we do it. People say, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an entrepreneur, as if their title will somehow fulfill them. But fulfillment doesn't come from a job, it comes from meaning. The problem is most people never stop to ask the deeper question, why do I want to do this? The most successful and fulfilled people in the world don't chase careers, they chase impact. They don't wake up in the morning driven by a title, a salary, or a job description. They wake up driven by a cause, a belief, a purpose bigger than themselves. They understand that work is not about what you get, it's about what you give. But here's where most people get it wrong. They believe that purpose is something external, something that will appear once they have the right job, the right business, or the right level of success. So they chase. They chase money, they chase recognition, they chase the next opportunity, hoping that it will finally bring them the fulfillment they crave. But no matter how much they achieve, they still feel empty. Why? Because purpose isn't out there, it's in here. It starts from within. The people who live with true purpose aren't the ones who have everything figured out. They're the ones who commit to something meaningful and take action every day. They're the ones who serve, who contribute, who wake up excited, not because they have to, but because they get to. They aren't driven by success alone, they are driven by significance. Think about the greatest leaders, the most inspiring figures in history. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly discover their purpose. They created it. They lived it. They made sacrifices for it. They struggled. They failed. They doubted themselves. But they never stopped believing in something bigger than themselves. So if you're sitting there wondering what your purpose is, stop looking for it. Instead, start creating it. Ask yourself, what problem do I care about solving? What kind of impact do I want to have? Who do I want to serve? And then go do something about it. The truth is, your purpose isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's built in the journey, in the everyday moments, in the way you show up and the difference you make. And the sooner you stop searching and start living, the sooner you'll realize it was never missing. It was always within you. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you create through action, commitment, and impact. True satisfaction doesn't come from a job, salary, or recognition, but from the significance of what you contribute. The most fulfilled people don't wake up driven by money or status, but by a cause greater than themselves. Many people search for purpose and achievements, but real fulfillment comes from aligning actions with deeper values. Instead of waiting for purpose to appear, start making a difference, solving problems, and serving others today. Most people believe that purpose is something they need to find, as if it's a hidden treasure buried somewhere, waiting to be discovered. They search for it in jobs, in relationships, in achievements, hoping that one day everything will suddenly make sense. But the truth is, purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build. It's not a destination, it's a process. And yet this simple truth is what most people get wrong. Think about the way people talk about purpose. They say, I just need to figure out what I'm meant to do, or I hope I find my purpose soon. But this mindset assumes that purpose is something external, something that exists outside of you, waiting to be uncovered. It's not. Purpose is something that is shaped over time through the choices you make, the actions you take, and the way you show up in the world. The mistake most people make is waiting. They wait for clarity, they wait for the perfect opportunity, they wait for some big revelation that will suddenly make everything obvious, but purpose doesn't work like that. It's not an idea that appears out of nowhere. It's something that emerges as you engage with life. You don't find your purpose first and then start. You start first, and through that process, your purpose becomes clear. Look at the most fulfilled and impactful people in the world. They didn't sit around waiting to find their purpose. They started doing things. They explored, they experimented, they failed, they adjusted, they tried new things, met new people, took on challenges, and through that process, they discovered what truly mattered to them. They built their purpose piece by piece, experience by experience. This is why action is so important. People get stuck in their heads, thinking they need to figure everything out before they take a step forward. But clarity comes from action, not from overthinking. The more you engage with the world, the more you put yourself in situations that challenge you, the more you contribute and serve, the clearer your purpose becomes. It's not about waking up one day with all the answers. It's about making the decision to show up, to do the work, to pay attention to what energizes you and what drains you. It's about following curiosity, saying yes to opportunities, and learning from experiences. Over time, patterns start to emerge. You begin to see what matters to you, what excites you, what problems you feel drawn to solve, and that is where purpose is built. The reality is, you don't have to know exactly where you're going to start moving, you just have to take a step. You have to engage, to contribute, to create. Purpose isn't something you passively discover, it's something you actively shape. It's built in the small daily choices of showing up, giving your best, and making a difference in whatever way you can. The more you do that, the more your purpose reveals itself, not because you found it, but because you built it. People spend years chasing titles, promotions, and achievements, believing that once they reach a certain position, they will finally feel fulfilled. They think that if they become a doctor, an entrepreneur, a CEO, or a recognized leader in their field, they will find lasting satisfaction. But time and time again, people achieve these things only to realize that something still feels missing. That's because true fulfillment doesn't come from what you do. It comes from why you do it. It doesn't come from a title, it comes from meaning. A job title is nothing more than a label. It describes what you do, but it does not define who you are. You can have the highest ranking position in a company and still feel empty inside. You can have all the money and recognition in the world and still wake up every morning feeling like something is off. That's because fulfillment isn't about external success. It's about internal alignment. It's about knowing that the work you do matters beyond yourself. Think about the people who are truly satisfied with their work. They aren't necessarily the ones with the highest salaries or the most prestigious titles. They are the ones who have found meaning in what they do. They are the teachers who feel proud when they see their students grow. They are the nurses who go home at the end of the day knowing they made someone's life a little better. They are the business owners who genuinely care about their customers and employees, not just the bottom line. Their fulfillment doesn't come from their position, it comes from the impact they create. The mistake people make is believing that success alone will bring them happiness. But success without meaning is empty. It might bring temporary satisfaction, but it won't last. That's why so many people work for years to climb the corporate ladder, only to reach the top and wonder why they still feel unfulfilled. They chased a title instead of chasing purpose. The good news is, meaning can be created in any job at any level. It's not about what you do, it's about how and why you do it. A janitor who takes pride in keeping a school clean so that children can learn in a safe environment has more fulfillment than an executive who only works for a paycheck. A cashier who genuinely connects with customers can find more meaning in their work than a wealthy CEO who feels disconnected from their company's mission. This is why the question isn't what job should I get to be happy? The real question is how can I bring purpose to what I do? Instead of chasing titles, chase impact. Instead of focusing on status, focus on service. Instead of asking what you can get, ask what you can give. Because at the end of the day, the people who feel the most fulfilled are not the ones with the fanciest job titles. They are the ones who know that what they do makes a difference. People are taught from a young age to chase success. They are told that if they work hard, get good grades, land a high-paying job, and climb the corporate ladder, they will be happy. Society defines success in terms of wealth, power, and recognition, and so people dedicate their lives to pursuing those things. But what happens when they get there? Why do so many people who achieve success still feel unfulfilled? It's because success alone doesn't bring lasting satisfaction, impact does. There are countless stories of highly successful people who, despite all their achievements, feel empty. Athletes who win championships and then wonder, is this all there is? Executives who build multi-million-dollar companies but feel disconnected from their work. Celebrities who reach the peak of fame yet struggle with a deep sense of loneliness. They spent years chasing success, but success without meaning is hollow. What truly matters is not how much money you make, how many awards you win, or how many followers you have. It's the difference you make in the lives of others. The people who wake up excited every morning are not the ones obsessed with their bank accounts or their status. They are the ones driven by something bigger than themselves. They are the teachers who dedicate their lives to shaping young minds. They are the doctors who work long hours because they believe in saving lives. They are the entrepreneurs who build businesses not just for profit but to solve real problems in the world. These people don't chase success, They chase impact. And as a result, they find something far greater than success. They find fulfillment. This is where most people get it wrong. They believe that once they achieve success, then they can focus on impact. They think, once I make enough money, then I'll give back. Once I reach the top, then I'll do something meaningful. But that's backward. The people who make the biggest difference in the world don't wait until they are successful to start having an impact. They prioritize impact from the very beginning. Success becomes a byproduct of their purpose, not the other way around. When you chase impact, something incredible happens. You stop working just for yourself and you start working for something greater. Your motivation shifts from external rewards to internal fulfillment. You become more resilient because you are no longer just pushing for personal gain. You are working for a cause that matters to you. The obstacles don't feel as discouraging because the mission is bigger than the struggle. And over time, the impact you create naturally leads to success. But by then, success is no longer the goal. It's just the result of doing meaningful work. The question is not, how can I be successful? The real question is, how can I make an impact? Because when you wake up every day focused on making a difference, you will find something that money, titles, and fame can never give you. Real fulfillment, the kind that lasts far beyond any success you could ever achieve. Most people believe that purpose is something they will find once they achieve a certain level of success. They think that once they reach a particular milestone, whether it's a higher salary, a better job, or a certain amount of recognition, then they will finally feel fulfilled. But this belief is one of the biggest reasons people feel lost and disconnected. They search for purpose in external achievements, but the truth is, purpose doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. The mistake people make is assuming that something out there, a job, a title, an opportunity, will give them the clarity and fulfillment they desire. But no job or title can define your purpose for you. Purpose isn't something that is given to you by an employer, a business, or even society. It's something you must uncover within yourself. It's rooted in what truly matters to you, in the values that drive you, in the things that make you feel alive. This is why so many people achieve what they thought they wanted, only to feel like something is missing. They spend years working toward a goal only to reach it and realize it wasn't what they expected. That's because they were searching for purpose in the wrong place. They believed that if they just got the right job, earned enough money, or received enough recognition, they would finally feel fulfilled. But purpose isn't something that appears once you succeed. It's something you bring into everything you do. The people who feel truly fulfilled are not the ones with the most impressive resumes or the biggest paychecks. They are the ones who have taken the time to understand what truly matters to them and have built their lives around it. They don't rely on external validation to feel fulfilled. Their sense of purpose comes from knowing that they are contributing to something meaningful, regardless of their job title or level of success. This is why it's so important to stop looking for purpose outside of yourself. It's not hidden in a job, a promotion, or an achievement. It's already within you, waiting to be uncovered. The key is to pay attention to the things that energize you, the problems you feel passionate about solving, the people you feel called to serve. When you stop searching externally and start listening to what truly matters to you, your purpose becomes clear. No one else can define your purpose for you. It's not something you find, it's something you cultivate. It's something you choose to bring into your work, your relationships, and your daily life. When you shift your focus from chasing external success to aligning with your inner values, everything changes. You stop feeling lost and start feeling driven. You stop searching and start creating. You realize that purpose was never something waiting for you out in the world. It was something that was inside you all along, just waiting to be embraced. Many people spend their lives waiting for clarity before they take action. They believe that once they figure out their purpose, then they will start making a difference. But purpose doesn't appear first, it's built through action. It's not something you wait to discover, it's something you create by engaging with the world, solving problems, and serving others. The mistake most people make is thinking they need a perfect plan before they begin, when in reality, the only way to uncover purpose is to start doing something meaningful. Waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect job, or the perfect idea only leads to frustration and inaction. People convince themselves that once they have everything figured out, then they will start making a difference. But the truth is, the people who live with real purpose didn't wait until they had all the answers. They started where they were, with what they had, and learned along the way. They didn't sit around trying to find their purpose. They created it by taking action, experimenting, failing, adjusting, and growing. Think about the people who have had the greatest impact in the world. They didn't wake up one day with a fully formed plan. They simply saw a need and took action. A teacher who dedicates their life to inspiring students doesn't necessarily start with a grand vision of changing the world. They start by showing up every day and doing their best. A doctor who saves lives doesn't wake up one morning with absolute clarity about their purpose. They start by studying, practicing, and helping one patient at a time. A business owner who transforms an industry doesn't wait for a perfect moment. They take risks, solve problems, and improve lives through their work. The mistake people make is thinking that their purpose needs to be something massive from the very beginning. They assume that making a difference means doing something groundbreaking. But real impact doesn't always start with big actions. It starts with small, consistent choices. Holding the door open for someone, offering a kind word, mentoring a younger colleague, or taking the time to listen to someone in need. These seemingly small actions create ripples that can change lives. Over time, these small acts add up, and the more you engage in meaningful work, the clearer your purpose becomes. The people who live with the greatest sense of fulfillment are not the ones who waited for purpose to find them. They are the ones who made the choice to serve, to contribute, to create, even when they weren't sure where it would lead. They understand that purpose isn't a destination, it's something built in the process of showing up every day with the intention to make a difference. The more you take action, the more purpose unfolds. It's not something you passively discover, it's something you actively shape through service, through effort, and through a commitment to making a difference in the world around you. Most people spend their lives searching for something they already have. They look for purpose in the next promotion, the next opportunity, or the next achievement, believing that fulfillment is somewhere out there waiting for them. But purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's not given to you by a job title, a paycheck, or the approval of others. It's something that comes from within, something you choose to bring into everything you do. The reason so many people feel lost is that they have been taught to chase success instead of meaning. They measure their worth by how much they earn, how many people know their name, or how high they rank on the corporate ladder. But success without meaning is empty. It might bring temporary happiness, but it will never bring lasting fulfillment. True fulfillment doesn't come from what you get, it comes from what you give. It comes from knowing that your work, your actions, and your presence in this world have made a difference. The most inspiring and impactful people didn't wait until they had everything figured out to start making a difference. They didn't wait for the perfect job, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. They simply started. They started serving, contributing, solving problems, and showing up with intention every single day. They understood that purpose is not something that suddenly appears one day. It's something that unfolds as you engage with the world around you. The mistake people make is believing that their purpose has to be something grand and extraordinary. They think they need to change the world in a big way before their work matters. But the truth is, purpose isn't about doing something massive. It's about doing something meaningful. It's about showing up every day and making an impact, no matter how small. It's about helping one person, solving one problem, creating one positive moment at a time. Because when you commit to making a difference, even in the smallest ways, those small moments add up to something extraordinary. The people who feel the most fulfilled aren't the ones who have the most money, the highest status, or the biggest audience. They are the ones who have aligned their lives with something bigger than themselves. They are the ones who wake up every morning with a sense of purpose because they know that what they do matters. Not because of a title or a paycheck, but because they have committed themselves to something meaningful. At the end of the day, purpose is not something you wait for. It's not something that will magically appear once you reach a certain level of success. It's something you build, something you shape, and something you live every single day. It's found in the moments you choose to serve, the problems you choose to solve, and the people you choose to impact. The question is not whether you will find your purpose. The real question is whether you will create it. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body.